Toddler Kaylee Anthony.
White car, black bra on the front. That area right there is where she was coming out of the woods with the shovel.
Orlando station WFTV spoke to a possible eyewitness who claims he saw a woman closely resembling Todd Casey Anthony near a wooded area with a shovel and a bag in late June.
Paul Kovach says he truly believes he saw Casey Anthony's car parked along the roadside as he and a friend slowly trolled for scrap metal on the roadside.
I knew something was wrong then. If Jimmy would have just stopped, we'd been all right.
Kovach says he wanted to see if the woman needed help, but his friend would only slow down as the woman walked out of a wooded area wearing a large straw hat, where a bridge of old tires is the only access to railroad tracks. Very secluded railroad tracks.
The witness also says he saw a well-dressed man standing nearby talking on a cell phone and pretending to fish.
He wasn't dressed like he was wandering the woods.
No, he was well-dressed.
Kovach says the woman definitely looked like Casey Anthony, wearing the big straw hat, big red sunglasses, and he says she had a shovel and a bag.
Trying to get the bag and the shovel into the trunk, she darn near knocked her hat off her head, ran her head into the car and everything.
Is your daughter in a better place?
No, she's not.
Are you worried about it?
I'm absolutely petrified. If she was with her family right now, she'd be in the best place. She's not.
Straight out to Kathy Bellich with CNN affiliate WFTV. Kathy, tell me about this new tip. It's my understanding this is the second eyewitness placing Mom Casey Anthony in that same area.
That's true. It's near the airport, south of Orlando International Airport. It was actually the same frame of time in late June. He says that he saw the car. He says now that it was a white Pontiac Sunfire with a black bra on the front. That's exactly the way Casey Anthony's car looks. He said that now thinking back after seeing pictures of Casey Anthony on the news, he does believe that it's Casey Anthony. He said she acted very nervous when she saw the car. She avoided looking at the car. And again, she tried to put the shovel and the bag that she had in her hands in the trunk of that car as quickly as possible, so quickly she almost knocked the hat off. He said she was also wearing big red sunglasses and that the trunk was already open when they noticed the car, as if somebody was in a hurry to get stuff back into that trunk.
Out to Leonard Padilla, bounty hunter, joining us from Sacramento, California. Leonard, what's so interesting about this tip, and believe me, as a former prosecutor, I've dealt with a million tips. This guy is not an anonymous tipster that's just calling in and leaving some bogus story on recording. This is the guy, here he is, Paul Kovach, the tipster. He's coming forward. We know his name, we've seen his picture, we've heard his voice, we know all about him. And his story is extremely detailed, Leonard.
Well, it's certainly easy enough to check that area out. By the way he described it, and he certainly describes her and the latter part of June. I mean, there's a lot of things in there that certainly fit. The bag, the shovel, the glasses, the white brim straw hat, I don't know about those items, but it's certainly within the area that everybody has discussed.
Back to Kathy Bellich with WFTV. Kathy, it's my understanding that this informant believes his story so much that he is considering getting a group of his own friends to go out and search.
That's right. He is considering that. He doesn't want to step on the toes of investigators. He has called in that information. He says he hasn't heard back. A lot of times they don't call back and tell somebody whether their information is good or not. But, yeah, he believes in it very strongly.
To Sergeant Scott Haynes, sheriff in Santa Rosa County, Florida. Sergeant, what's so interesting to me after dealing with a lot of tips is the detail in this tip. What does that mean to you?
Well, the more detailed the tip, usually the more reliable the tip. What we need to look at, though, is when the tip came in, because most of the things that he's stating have been seen by the common public on TV, such as her white car with the black bra, the shovel was brought up, things of that nature, and so was the area. So investigators are definitely going to look into this tip. It sounds like a good tip, but at the same time, there have been tips where people have come forward in the past.
Wouldn't it be easy enough to get in touch with the guy that was driving to confirm or deny this story happened? Sergeant?
That is true. They would definitely need to look at that, but at the same time, there have been people, I'm sure, as you know, that have come together to fabricate things.
Please, Sergeant, come on. You expect me to believe two guys are going to get together to what, frame Casey Anthony? They don't know her from Adam's house cat.
I'm not saying that they do. I'm just saying that police need to look into that.
Well, that's obvious. Of course, they need to look into it. But the detail behind this tip, we're taking your calls live out to Roseanne in New Jersey. Hi, Roseanne.
Hi, Nancy. Nice speaking with you. I just wanted to say one thing as far as what they're going to charge her with. They obviously first-degree murder. I think they obviously should stick with that. They're saying maybe she sold her daughter. But why would she use fraudulent checks, phony checks, and not have the money from the sale of her child? So I think they should just dispel that, go for the murder one, and, of course, the death penalty. She's, cold-hearted fiend. And that's my thought on that.
Do you have a question, Roseanne?
Well, I wanted to know if they're still looking to even, approach that as far as...
No, they are not looking at the possibility of her selling the child. They are going forward with murder one charges, probably because of some of your logic. If she had all the money from selling a child, why would you have to forge checks?